At the Just Be Nice project, we're not here to demonise for-profit or non-profit organisations. We're here to demonise waste. Economic waste, financial waste, a waste of people's skills, and most importantly, a waste of opportunity for those in need. The Just Be Nice project was started because we believe that there is so much goodwill and there are so many resources available that the real tragedy is that it doesn't get to the people who need it, and it doesn't get to them effectively. That people in need don't get the help that they need when they need it for as long as they need it, regardless of how they come to need help. One of the drivers of this lack of impact and impact literacy is unfortunately the way that non-profits have sold disadvantage for the last 30 or 40 years. Typically selling very visible disadvantage so they can get an emotional reaction out of potential donors and encourage them to donate right away. So we see over and over again the same kinds of images. People in wheelchairs, sick kids in hospital, people in third world environments that clearly lack resources, in the desert, in rubbish tips. We see hungry kids. We see homeless people on the street with beards and dirty clothes. Unfortunately, the side effect of that is we've taught people that disadvantage is very visible, when in reality, the majority of disadvantage is not visible at all. In order to get you to donate, charities have told you that your $5, your little intervention, makes a huge difference to those in need. When in reality, it's hard to have a huge impact with only $5. It's hard to have a huge impact in one small short-term intervention. That most people require ongoing help, multiple services, multiple interventions, and a lot of support to move from a situation of disadvantage to an equality of opportunity. Unfortunately, if a charity came out and said, hey, we're the 17th most important intervention, your $5 doesn't do heaps directly, but combined with all these other $5 donations, we're able to do some serious good. And hopefully in 10 years' time, we will have made a major impact on this community by removing barriers to opportunity for people over the 10-year period. That charity wouldn't make any money. They've got to tell you that you're having a huge impact today. They've got to show you someone that you would understand to be in need right at this moment. They have to pull your heartstrings quickly and get a sort of guilt response into getting you to put your hand in your pocket. But what about volunteering your time? Well, it's actually very difficult to set up an organisation that's able to just take people on board and utilise their skills in an effective way. So what do we see happening? Organisations set up lowest common denominator tasks for you to do. Taking people with skill sets, university educations, TAFE skills, hard-earned life skills, and getting them to pack hampers, fold clothes, spoon soup into cups, paint a fence, plant trees, things that everyone can do, things that don't pay respect to the hard-earned skills and capacities of people that want to help. Because the organisations are typically not interested in having you involved for a long period of time, and because organisations are often set up to do one thing, one kind of intervention. Now, there's nothing wrong with being set up to do one thing and becoming really good at it. In fact, at the Just Be Nice project, we encourage that. We envisage a world where we're able to support those organisations to do what they do well and deliver that service to people in need in line with all the other necessary services to ensure that that person gets to an equality of opportunity, to ensure that an outcome is met for the person in need. When you build a house, if you had a carpenter come in and just build one wall and then leave and that was the whole situation, you wouldn't be happy with that. You'd say, what's going on here? Where's the rest of it? Where's the rest of the walls? Where are the rest of the people? The carpenter would say, hey, our mission statement says that we believe in building walls for people in need. We built the wall. You qualified for a wall. We built it. That's all we're here to do. We're out. No one would be happy with that. Instead, when you want to build a house, you start with an outcome. You start with a plan. You draw it up. You say, this is where we're going. You don't make the individual tradesman pitch you for who's the most important intervention. You try and find the best tradesman to come in and do their job and do it well. Alongside one another, they come and they go. You have a builder manage the whole process, ensuring everyone is paid, everyone's resources are available, that everyone comes in when needed and leaves and comes back and leaves and comes back. Thousands of line items, dozens of tradespeople, maybe 18 months, 2 years of work. And no one bats an eyelid about how expensive it is and how long it takes, because they all know we're working towards this outcome. At the JBM project, the outcome is that people are housed, employed, and have good mental health. The outcome is that we help people when they need it, regardless of how they come to need help. People with poor mental health, refugees, migrants, sick people, people from low SES communities, people in remote communities, people who are suffering with health issues, people who are sick, people who are well, people who have been experiencing disadvantage for a very long time, and people who have only very recently found themselves in a tight spot. We know that everyone needs help sometimes, and we believe everyone should get help when they need it for as long as they need it, and they should get the help that they need. We want to see organisations and people doing what they're good at and not having to jump through hoops to prove that their thing is the only and most important intervention required to help someone in need. If you provide a materials service, you should be able to do that, and you should be able to do it well, and you should be able to do it to the full advantage of the person that needs help. And when we're building a system where we're providing avenues to complete care for people in the long term, that we're not focusing on short-term interventions, that we're not focusing on exclusive interventions, that we're building an inclusive ecosystem for all people that need help. It doesn't matter whether you're for-profit or non-profit. What matters is, are you good at what you're doing? What matters is, do you have the skills to deliver the outcome that we need right now or in the future for these people who need help? It all depends on the person that needs help. It all depends on the community that we are working in to remove barriers to opportunity so that they can get housed, employed, and have good mental health, the same as the most fortunate and resource-rich environments in the country. The JBM project, we're not here to demonise profit. We're here to demonise waste. We don't believe that goodwill is more important than good skill, and we don't believe in reducing everyone's efforts to lowest common denominator tasks. We believe that engagement and outcomes come through doing what you are good at and doing what you enjoy. That being able to engage in something for the long term means it has to be relevant to you and your life. It has to fit in. That we would rather have you present for the long term than attempt to change someone's whole world in one short-term intervention. At the Just Be Nice project, we believe we can change the way that people help people. We believe that we can build an ecosystem where people in need get the help that they need when they need it for as long as they need it. We believe that you have the capacity to do far more good at the end of what you're good at than some lowest common denominator attempt that doesn't take into account what you or your organisation are good at. But we can't do it without you. So if you're an organisation, a non-profit, a school, or an individual who's looking to do good, someone who's unsure what their previous attempts have achieved, someone who's felt unfulfilled with previous attempts to help those in need and looking to step it up, by all means get in touch. We can't do it without you. Keep on being excellent, keep looking for those opportunities, and as always, just be nice.